Good day, friends. Today I am here with Scavenge Space Fire description. In this video, I am going to share you the complete detail of Scavenge Fire, how it is detected, how it is treated, how it is prevented, what actions you are going to take. All these details we are going to discuss. Okay, so coming to the next slide, what is Scavenge Fire? Basically, when we talk about scavenge fire, so we have to have in our mind a correct idea the scavenge space, and especially in the large slow speed diesel engines. So there you have the scavenge space where the air is being supplied to the engine, and there if carbonized lube oil or unburned fuel oil or carbon from the residual product of the combustion space are being accumulated, then in this scavenge space the scavenge fire will happen. Okay, and this is the basic fuel requirement if we see the fire triangle. And the next is your under certain faulty conditions of the engine, these may ignite, causing a fire in the scavenge space. And when this fire occurs, then this is called the scavenge fire. So this under piston space or the scavenge space where the accumulation of this unburned fuel or the carbon is going to happen, and the blow past is the basically trigger, or you can say the source of heat. So this is going to cause the fire. Okay, the oil will build up into the scavenge space. This is when the engine is running possible. It may carbonize, and further heat will then reach to the condition where the burning of these fuels can happen. So this is also the thing. And when we talk about fire triangle, then we have the fuel which we have already described, heat, the blow past from the engine, from the piston rings, that is happening, that is also there, and the abundant supply of air, that is also there. So this is the main cause of scavenge fire. It may ignite by the hot gases and burning particles from the blow past of the piston ring, which is we have already covered up. What are the various factors which contribute to the scavenge fire? Very, very important to understand for an engineer point of view, that what are the various factors. Okay, so blow past of the combustion products caused by leaky or sticky or broken piston rings. Very important. Piston ring condition has to be up to date, and that's why the scavenge space cleaning and inspection is done. Then this is being monitored. Badly worn out liners, scoring and scuffing of liners. This is also one of the cause. Faulty cylinder lubrication, quality, quantity, or timing wise. So this also is going to cause the scavenge fire. Insufficient clearance of the piston rings. This is also because this is going to prevent the movement. So you have to understand the complete operational part of it. If the piston clearance is less, the movement or the rocking movement of the piston rings will not be there. And if we have the worn out liners, then the gap will be there, which is going to cause the blow past. Okay, factors which contributes to the scavenge fire again. In this one, we are going to see the overheated piston dissipate heat to the under piston area, then what will happen? How it is going to contribute towards a scavenge fire. So faulty atomization and injection pressure. This is going to cause the afterburning. And when you have the afterburning, then the overheating is quite possible and the proper combustion is not there. So this is going to dissipate the heat. Faulty fuel pump timing. Again, it's related to the timing of the injection. So this is again going to cause the same thing. Loss of compression. Piston ring is not proper, loss of compression. Engine overload. Due to certain conditions, the engine is being overloaded. So this is going to cause the overheating of the piston. So that is one of the main cause. Failure of coolant circulation, insufficient cooling due to the formation of scale. So basically, whatever the heat energy which is being developed in the main engine or the any engines, so this has to be taken away by the coolants. Either you talk about the lube oil or you talk about the cooling water. So if there is scale formation inside the boards where the cooling water is going to flow, then in that case, the circulation will be hampered or insufficient cooling will happen. And this is going to cause the overheating of. Now, the another factor which is coming in line is your blowback of the exhaust gas. Blowback, that means certain back pressure. So, exhaust gas back pressure or the exhaust ports heavily carbon deposits. This is going to cause the blowback of exhaust gas. Fouling of grid before the turbine inlet. So, after the exhaust which is passing from the engine cylinder, it has to go to grid and then before going to the turbine inlet. So in that scenario, if it is choked, then back pressure will be created. Fouling of turbine blades. Yes, this is also going to cause the back pressure. Choking of EGB or economizer gas outlet. So this is also one of the main cause of the blowback. And then this creates a back pressure, which is going to be causing the scavenge fire, one of the cause. Now, other factors also associated, sometimes containing fuel oil in a scavenge space, which is again defective fuel injectors are involved in that one. Then incorrect pressure setting of the injectors. The injection pressure setting of the injectors are not correct. Then also it is going to cause the collection or spillage of the fuel oil in the scavenge space. Fuel particles landing on the cylinder liners. Then the basically the penetration is going to lead towards it. And excessive cylinder lubrication is also one of the cause, which is again drained down to the scavenge ports and accumulated, as we have seen in the very first slide, the lube oil accumulation. Fouled scavenge manifold. Yes, the every because now we are having the slow steaming also, so this is going to cause the excessive fouling in the under piston space and scavenge space. So this also has to be cleaned on the regular basis, voyage to voyage basis. So if it is not done, then it is also going to contribute towards scavenge fire. Now we are going to see the indications of a scavenge fire. What are the various indications? How the scavenge fire can be identified? So first, engine revolution will drop and power production in affected cylinder will reduce. So which cylinder is having a scavenge fire, they will produce less power, and of course the finally engine revolution will also drop. Unstable operation of turbocharger and will cause surging. Okay, so this is also one of the thing. Exhaust temperature of affected cylinder will increase. If the scavenge temperature is going to increase, this is also going to increase as the unit will not get the required amount of the fresh air. So fresh air amount will reduce because it's already being having fire in the scavenge space of that particular unit. So this is also indication. And the temperature of that particular scavenge space unit is increased. Black smoke in the exhaust as the incomplete combustion, because this is all leading towards the incomplete combustion. So you will have the black smoke indication in the funnel. Discharge of a spark, flame and smoke through the drain cocks of the scavenge of that particular unit. Very true. Cooling water outlet temperature of that particular unit will also increase. Rise of temperature, pressure in the air box below the piston will be one of the indications. Means the temperature will rise in that particular area or the zone or the unit. Visible evidence of fire if the glass window is being provided. Some of the engines, if you see, the small glass window is being provided, and if you peep from there, then you can see that the fire is happening in the under piston space area. Now, what actions to be taken? It reduces the engine speed. Then first you have to inform the bridge and the chief engineer also, so that the proper corrective action can be taken. If any navigational things has to be there, then they can take the corrective action as required. Cut off fuel supply to affected units and shut off the valves. The unit is being identified, then this action has to be taken. Cylinder lubrication of that particular unit has to be increased. Coolant flow and lubrication of affected unit to be maintained. So this is very important part. Drains to be shut so that there will not be any other flow of spark in the engine room. Precautionary measure. Once you checked, identified, then no need to open the drains. It has to be shut. Keep clear of scavenge relief valves to prevent the human injury, because if the pressure inside the scavenge space will increase, then what will happen? You have to have the lifting of scavenge relief valve, and if any person is nearby standing, can get the human injury. So we have to avoid it. Now, the actions to be taken if the fire is spread to other units, means one unit to another unit. If that is happening, then this is going to take in the larger fire or the major fire in the scavenge space complete. Okay, so again, same thing, inform bridge and stop engines. Now we have to take this action. Stop fuel oil booster pump, open indicator cocks, engaged the turning gear, and turn the engine to prevent seizure. So we have to do this one because if we stop and leave it like that, then the overheated piston rings and liner can seize. So what we have to do, we have to use the turning gear and keep it running so that to avoid the seizure. Normal engine cooling and bearing lubrication is to be maintained. That is very important so that whatever heat is there, that will be extracted away. The scavenge air duct flap to be shut so that no air supply. Release the smothering gas, CO2, or the steam, whatever is being provided for the scavenge space extinguishing medium. So whatever is there, you have to shut everything and then charge the steam or CO2. Before opening the scavenge door, ventilate the space thoroughly. So when we have to do this, we have to make sure, especially after half an hour, at least we have to wait and monitor the outside temperature has to reduce. And if the temperature is getting reduced or getting down, then in that scenario, the further investigation can be done. How we can prevent the scavenge fire? What is the action we can take or the early action we can take to prevent the scavenge fire? Clean the scavenge space and drain it at regular interval. Very important. The draining scavenge space drain tank is also there, and the sounding of that is very important. How much scavenge rain is coming every day when the engine is running is to be monitored, and there is if everything is normal, then there is a certain amount which every engine to engine it vary. So if it is okay, then it's okay, that flow is okay, the drain is not choked, and if it is there, then whenever possible, voyage to voyage basis, the cleaning is to be done. Keep scavenge space drain open at the regular interval. Yes, when the engine is running, you can keep it. Once you open the drain and then you feel the drain pipe. So if it is becoming hot, that means actually the scavenge drains are going down and the pipe is clear. So the flow is okay. So no problem at all. Excess cylinder lubrication must be avoided. Yes. Less lubrication is also problem. Excess is also problem. In this case, actually, this has to be done because now it is alpha lubricator, so already automatically adjusted. So this problem is not much, but monitoring is required. In case timed lubrication, timing has to be checked as per the PMS, and it has to be as accurate, whatever is required. Piston ring must be maintained and properly lubricated. So piston ring is a scavenge space inspection, condition of piston ring, as well as the clearances has to be taken and maintain the condition. Piston rod stuffing box must be maintained to prevent oil ingress in the scavenge space. Yes, very good. Prolonged engine or any cylinder overloading must be avoided. Overloading is not good for any health of the engine. So whatever is required for certain time duration, if emergency is there, then it's other issue. Otherwise, should be avoided. Cylinder liner wear must be within admissible limits. So cylinder liner wear is measured on the timely basis as per the routine, and this wear has to be at the limits, within the limits which is prescribed for that particular engine. So if all these things we will do, we will be able to prevent the scavenge fire successfully. Now, inspection after the scavenge fire. Actually, all these questions are asked in the orals. What inspection you will do after the scavenge fire? So these are the points. After cooling down, the cleaning of the scavenge trunking under piston space is to be done. Yes. Intense fire can cause distortion and may upset the piston alignment. That also has to be monitored and checked. Check by turning the engine and watch the movement of piston in the liner. Check for any occurrence of binding at the part of stroke. Binding indicates misalignment of the piston. Means any binding should not be there. Check spring on the scavenge space relief device if the device was near the set of fire. Okay, so scavenge space relief device also has to be inspected. Piston rod backing spring also to be checked, which may have become weakened by the overheating, and if it is case, then replaced. Piston rings, liner conditions must be inspected and checked for any distortion, any burning marks, any, because if you see if the steel is burning, it is can be easily identified and it has to be checked. If it is found, if piston rings are not in the condition which can be utilized now, so replaced. Check diaphragm and the frame near affected part. So whatever the unit which is being affected, the diaphragm, frames, everything has to be inspected. Check guides and guide shoes, yes, of that particular affected unit. Check tension of the tie bolts for the starting of the engine. Before starting of engine, this is also has to be done because this overloading or the overheating and fire can cause anything. So better to check the tensioning of the tie rod bolts. Fire extinguishing system must be recharged at the first opportunity. So scavenge space, fire extinguishing medium recharge is very much important and required. That has to be there. Now scavenge space protection devices which is being fitted already, which is going to indicate you, alarm you and protect the fire from this scavenge fire by utilization of these protection devices. We have some electrical temperature sensing devices fitted within the trunking which will automatically sound an alarm in event of excessive rise in the local temperature, generally above 200 degrees centigrade. So if that is there, so this is going to give you the early indication of scavenge fire and actions can be taken which we have already described. Testing of alarms should be done on the daily basis. Possible, then do, otherwise whenever you get opportunity within a week when the engine is running and all, then possible, or as per the voice to voice basis. Pressure relief valve consisting of self closing spring loaded valves. Pressure relief valves are self closing spring loaded valves are also fitted. They must be examined and tested as per the engine manufacturer's requirement, and basically the excessive pressure which is going to generate in the scavenge space is being relieved by this. And fixed fire extinguishing system, CO2, dry powder or steam, whatever is being provided must be at charged, and the complete operating instruction must be there at position, and every person of the engine room must be familiar with this fire extinguishing medium, the procedures and the guidelines. So this is something which is going to help you, guide you to understand the complete scenario of the scavenge fire, because we have already discussed in this video, I have already discussed about the scavenge fire, how it is happened, and what are the causes of it, what are the indications of it. If it is a small fire, what action you will take. If it is a large fire, what action you will take, and what are the inspections which is being carried out. Basically, the scavenge space thorough inspection. One video should be there, so I am planning to do that in the next coming video. The scavenge space inspections, how it is done, what are things to be checked and carried out. So I will bring that video also for you guys. And lastly, what are the preventive devices which is fitted on the engine, that also has to be understood. Okay, so I have discussed all these things. I hope this video is going to give you a good, beautiful idea regarding the scavenge fire, and you will be able to answer the questions which is asked on the basis of this. Thank you all of you.